If Mixer, I have to look at this. I have to look into Twitch again, so that's gonna be fun on my phone. But I got everything except for. Let's see. I don't know if YouTube is live, but maybe it is. Who knows? If not, that's fine. I was looking into Twitch anyway. Okay, that's done.
Start recording checkbox not checked. To check, press spacebar. Stop streaming checkbox checked. To clear checkbox, press spacebar.
Let's just see if Twitch
Search box edit. Type in text.
is live. Just want to make sure that's it. Before
Chrome slash news app. Google Chrome.
We're gonna play some Yugioh.
Land.
I know it's not really a game that a lot of people know.
Twitch.tv. Press tab.
About too much. It is a popular card game, but we are going to play some Yugioh in the way that only a blind person can play. And I mean, what I mean by that, we are going to play some Yugioh in the way that only a blind person can play. And I mean, what I mean by that. Okay, I am live. All right.
Use information button.
Let me know TCTS real quick.
Google Chrome app. Google Chrome.
Simple, very good.
Address and search bar edit.
Alright.
Enter your search term edit combo. Search region. Enter your search term edit combo collapse. To set the value, use the arrow keys or virtual PC cursor. Chrome button menu. Customize it. Context. Net. New tab. New history. Downloads. Control. Bookmark sub menu. Key. Bookmark. Dashboard restream. Reporting parent information. 350. Facebook 7. Subliminal programming. Muhammad Ali. Imported from The Washington Post. Merriam-Webster. MapQuest Maps. Google 10. CNN.com. Blackboard Learn. Arlington Public. App Snapshot. Apps Google Apps. Import bookmarks and setting. Bookmark Manager. Show bookmarks bar. Bookmark this tab. TCTS 4242. HT.
Here we go. TCTS. We are connected. Okay, give it a sec.
Leaving menus. Disconnect button.
Okay.
TCTS. Send to channel edit. Flag word. Text edit. Text edit.
Testing.
Vadwa testing.
Alright.
Desktop.
We are set. I'm going to tweet this out. I will have to eventually connect my Twitch to Discord. But why not? We're gonna see what happens. Alright, let me just tweet this out real quick. Okay, let me just make sure that actually worked out. Alright, that is tweeted out. We are set to go. Okay, time to load up the Yugioh interface.
Start button. Desktop folder view list. Yugioh soundtrack master.
Basically what this is, it's basically a text-based version of Yugioh. where a person can play who is blind, and because a lot of people who are blind don't know they can actually play this game, and this has been out for a couple of years now. I just found out about it by maybe 6 or so months ago. I didn't pay attention to it before, and I only really started to pay attention to it because my younger brother is really into Yu-Gi-Oh, and I wanted to do, the cool brotherly thing and get into it myself.
Type applications.
Let's see. Okay, here we go. So here we go. We're going to start this game here real quick, and I'll kind of show you what I can do here. But the goal here is to get some chat, and hopefully we can see here what happens. And what I'll do is, if I can find the way to access the past streams, I'll find a way to download them and upload them to YouTube as well, so that a person on YouTube can see. So it can be up there for anyone who wants to see it.
Switching windows on your computer.
Okay.
Password. You're cracking a bit more evil because you're not on PC because it doesn't have a lot of random numbers. Sorry for inconvenience. Send out positive. You can set about creating welcome to the game. For latest changes, type changes. There are.
Let's see if there's anyone online here.
Finance privately dueling Austin. Otherwise watching duel with Metal and Bakura. Austin privately dueling Demand. Bakura privately dueling Metal. Casio. Clearock. Metal privately dueling Bakura. Olos. Radamandus. TST. Uden. Living online. 21 max reboot.
Okay, we got some people on here. Okay, good stuff. So the way this works. The way this works is it's Yu-Gi-Oh. The card game where you use monsters, spells, and traps to try to beat your opponent. Some of you might recognize the sounds in this game from the anime, the original anime. You might recognize some of the sounds from there, especially when you lose life points or when you gain life points, that kind of thing. So you might recognize that. But you'll find that my screen reader is able to read the card text as well as the stats for each card and each spell and trap card as well. And I'm able to place the cards in attack and defense position. And I'm also able to place traps on the field as well. And I'm able to also do different summoning methods. Some of you who've watched the anime, or perhaps you've watched the anime before, and maybe a couple episodes of it, 1 or 2 episodes, might have noticed something called ritual spells. Well, ritual spells are basically cards with the name ritual in them that only are able to be used to summon one type of monster, one monster in particular. So Blackluster Ritual, for example, summons Blackluster Soldier. I believe that's what the card is that it summons, but it's specifically meant to summon that one card, and nothing else. So you can only use that spell card to summon that particular monster onto the field. I don't have a deck with those kinds of things. Instead, I like to use a deck with, I have, let's see.
You own 16 decks.
16 decks. And each one of these decks has different summoning method involved in its creation. So I have a couple of fusion summoning decks, which is where I use polymerization, which is another spell card to take monsters from my hand or my side of the field and fusion summon them, which means put them together to create an even more powerful monster. I have those kinds of cards in some of my decks, and I'll show you that. But it's not as easy as just getting 2 or 3 monsters and bam, just fusion summoning, because you have to have polymerization or a spell that allows you to summon without polymerization. So it's not easy, but it can be done, and it's pretty fun anyway. Pretty awesome stuff. Can definitely be done on a regular basis. My favorite summoning method, or my second favorite summoning method, is called Synchro Summoning, which is where you take a type of monster called a tuner monster, and you summon another monster onto the field that has, a regular monster kind of thing, without the name tuner in it, and you're able to take the 2 levels of the monsters, because every monster in the game has a level. So let's say, for instance, I had a level 3 monster and a level 2 tuner monster. Well, I can take those two monsters on my field and synchro summon those two monsters to create a level 5 monster. But it has to be done in a way where you have one monster, and I believe you can use as many tuners as you want to build up to level 12, which is what I do with Junk Speeder. But if I'm lucky enough to draw Junk Speeder, or if I'm lucky enough to synchro summon Junk Speeder, you'll get to see what I'm talking about. So there's that. There is synchro summoning, and each monster has its own effect. So it depends on which monster you want to use. Each monster has its own effect, and you're able to use that effect to help you in the game, or help take down a really powerful monster by taking down its attack points to 0. You can do that kind of thing. There's a lot of different things you can do to make your monster more powerful, or try to negate some of your opponent's attacks. That kind of thing. But it just depends on how you draw. Because if you draw, if you draw and then the hand that you get is not very good, then you're in danger potentially of losing your ability to your chances of winning the duel. So you got to be really careful as to how you use those cards. And sometimes I make a lot. So I'm a relatively new duelist. I'm not going to say here that I'm like the best duelist or anything else. I'm a new duelist, very new. It's been about almost 8 months or so, and I'm very new at this whole dueling thing here. But I did it for my brother, and it was also probably one of the best decisions that I've made. Honestly, this game has been like an awesome part of my life that I've built into it, and so I've definitely loved dueling because to me it feels like mainstream. It feels nice to not have to just play 1,000 miles and other simple card games that only blind people can play. We have audio games too, but they're not that fun unless you're able to kind of imagine. And since I don't have an Xbox with me right now, I can't play Gears 5 or anything like that because I don't have an Xbox with me right now. But if I did, you bet I'd be definitely streaming this on Twitch and other places, I guess. But at least uploading them to YouTube so people on YouTube could see that. But YouTube is a dictatorship. There we go. But anyway,
Challenge. Casio created a new duel.
so there's that. There's synchro summoning, and the next summoning method that I'll talk about that some people may not know about, which is fine. If you don't know about it, that's fine.
There is a lock-in.
Some people may not have watched the Anime Pass original series, which I can understand maybe why you might have, or if you're wondering about synchro summoning and maybe you saw the anime, it's the anime where the duelists ride motorcycles and duel, but they're not called motorcycles; they're called duel runners. But still, if you saw that before, that's the anime with synchro summoning as its main summoning method. So there's that, and then there's XE summoning, which is really awesome. You take two monsters of the same level, like level 3 or level 4, and you can overlay those 2 monsters or 3 monsters that you have on your field, and you can XE summon a new monster that has a rank instead of a level. And the ranks are different because it's kind of nice because cards like Level Eater that a person might use, so I don't know if they'll necessarily use that card necessarily. I'm just giving you an example. Well, it doesn't work on a rank monster because the monsters don't have levels; they have ranks. So it wouldn't work on a monster that has a rank. That kind of thing. It can protect you from that kind of thing. And the real main reason you would XE summon is because you're able to use its effect by detaching the 2 monsters or 3 monsters that you had originally used to summon the new monster, and they're called overlay units in the anime, and I like calling them overlay units because it sounds cool. But these overlay units can be used to use your monster's effect, and when you run out of overlay units, your monster no longer has the effect that you can use, so it's vulnerable. So you gotta use it carefully. But it's still very fun to use. Pendulum Summoning is the next summoning method, and it's my least favorite summoning method. I do not like Pendulum Summoning because it's basically pointless. Because Pendulum Summoning is just another way for you to summon multiple monsters, but you have to be very careful because you can synchro summon, you can fusion summon, you can XC summon, and I think you can link summon. I don't know if you can link summon with Pendulum Monsters. I'm not really sure. I've never tried that before, but you can Pendulum summon, but it doesn't make a difference at all because you have to have those monsters in your hand, and you can't use those monsters on your field to summon any other way after you Pendulum summon. So Pendulum summoning, just for the sake of continuity and being consistent with what it is basically where you have two monsters that are called Pendulum Monsters, and these two monsters are monsters where they turn into spells when you use them. You see, they turn into spells, and you create a pendulum scale between the levels of the two pendulum numbers that are on those cards. So, for example, if you have a level 1 Pendulum Monster and a level 8 Pendulum Monster, and the pendulum scale is set to 1 through 8, that means that in between those numbers, you can summon any monster from those two, from in between those two levels. So, if it was a pendulum scale of 1 through 8, you can summon monsters from levels 2 through 7 all at the same time from your hand. But you can't actually do it any other way. You have to summon it from your hand, those monsters from your hand, and then you can use those monsters from your hand to fusion summon, XC summon, and synchro summon. I'm not really sure about Link, but probably from your field. So basically, it's just another way to summon monsters to make it easier for you to do those other summoning methods. But it's basically pointless because, it's basically just pointless. Nobody uses Pendulum Summoning anymore. It was basically something to promote the cards, the Pendulum cards that were created, and they were good for their time. And each monster does have a pendulum effect that is separate from its monster effect that can allow you to do certain things, but it's not really that interesting to use because, unless you are a master at Pendulum Summoning, it's not easy to do because it doesn't work out that well. It just doesn't do it. It's not like in a duel, you're not really going to Pendulum Summon unless you're able to draw a really nice scale where you have, like, let's say 1 through 8, for example. But so there we go. You have those kinds of things, and it doesn't make any sense at all to do it. So I personally do not like Pendulum Summoning, but I have decks that do it because why not? Because why not? So there's that. And then the last summoning method, where I only have one deck. I only have one deck for this because I'm still learning how to do it. But Link Summoning is I originally thought would be the hardest for a blind person to do because it requires you to look at arrows. But really, it isn't that hard, especially in this interface that I use to play. And what I'll do is I'll tweet out, if you follow me, DBZFN94 on Twitter. If you follow me on Twitter, I will tweet out the website for the Yugioh MUD, so that anyone who is blind, or anyone who's just interested in learning how to play a text-based version of Yugioh, you don't have to be blind necessarily. If you want to play Yu-Gi-Oh on here, and maybe Yu-Gi-Oh Duel Links, it strains your eyes, or Yu-Gi-Oh Duel Links, I don't know, for some reason maybe you're getting tired of looking at the pictures. I don't know. I can't play Yu-Gi-Oh Duel Links because Konami sucks. But anyway, if you want to play the text-based version of this game, I'll tweet out the website later for the text-based version of the game, so that anyone can play. And I would most definitely encourage people who are interested in learning how to play Yu-Gi-Oh, or are wanting to learn how to have fun and do this kind of stuff. Even if you're blind or have partial sight or something, then you can learn how to do it, and it's really fun to do. So link summoning, just
Challenge. Before created a new dual room.
just to get before I get ahead of myself, link summoning is where you take a monster, or two or three different monsters with certain recommendations. So some monsters requires two monsters with the same effect, or three monsters with different effects, or one link monster and two effect monsters. You meet those those requirements, and you can summon a link monster. And the link monster that you summon has what's called, instead of a level, it has a link rating. And the link rating is basically how many monsters it is required to summon that one monster. So you have to take those monsters. It will tell you which monster it is, and it will show you. It will say, "Hey, this is what you need to summon it." And the thing is these link monsters don't have defense points. So every other monster has attack and defense points, but link monsters don't have defense points. They only have attack points. So you cannot put them in defense position. So when they're summoned onto the extra monster zone, M6, or there's two of them, the M6, M7, extra monster zones, and they have arrows on them. So the arrows might point to your left, they might point directly. So the board is set up so you have your monster zones, M1 through M5. M6 is above M1 through M5, and it is pointing toward your opponent's second monster zone, and you have your spells and traps, I believe, on your left and right side. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. But you have those spells and traps on those sides. So basically, what you're trying to do is you're trying to get the arrows to point to your side of the field, or to your opponent's side of the field, to activate your link monster's effect, which could help you. And generally, link monsters are meant to help you out. So they have different effects. They can protect your monsters from certain effects. They can do all kinds of stuff. And some link monsters have an adverse effect towards your opponent when they are pointing to your opponent's side of the field. So it could very well be possible that you have a nice effect that helps you, but it also might cause some problems for your opponent. And there's also what are called co-linked monsters, which is not very easy to do. But if you're able to co-link your two link monsters that you summon, well, it might add an extra effect. So some co-linked monsters, if you have co-linked monsters, might give you the ability to, I don't know, draw a card or do something else like that. Like, I'm not experienced with Link because I just started getting into learning how to use it. So that's why I know the least about Link monsters over other monsters that I've used. So those are the different summoning methods. I forgot to mention what normal summoning is, but normal summoning is just basically summoning a monster, any monster in attack or defense mode. Basically, that's it. So normal summoning is just the simple, summon a monster. That's it. No big deal. Spells and traps do different things. You have to be very careful when you read the card text, because some spells and traps might help you, or they might hurt you and help your opponent. Anything can happen when it comes to these spells and traps, but a lot of spells and traps are good for you, and you do still have to read the card text, because reading the card text is the main reason why, that's how you play the game. But if you do that, you'll be fine, and no big deal. So enough talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm going to see if I can get someone to play with me, because there's no bots on this game. There's no Yu-Gi-Oh! Bot like there is in Duel Links. No characters like that, so we have to get actual people to play with. So let's try to do that real quick, and then you'll kind of be able to hear what it sounds like. Win or lose, it's like 11 o'clock, yeah.
11:31 a.m.
Yeah. Win or lose, you'll be able to hear what it's like for for me to normal summon and do other things. And I'm gonna use my Synchro Summoning deck so you can maybe hear what it sounds like for me to draw Junk Speeder, which is my favorite, one of my favorite Synchro Summoning monsters that I use, because it has a certain effect that rocks. I can summon all kinds of powerful stuff then. And you'll be able to see it. But I'll kind of make it slow so you can kind of know what I'm doing as I'm doing it. Okay, so here we go. Let's see.
You point. Dual rules were set to MR. You finished the room setup. Flip. You will move to scene 1. Enter to show all commands and room preferences.
Okay.
R. Deck loaded with 55 cards. Enter to show all commands and room preferences. Command, Anorak, dueling Bakura, Bakura, dueling Anorak, Castiel, Lirak, preparing to duel, Cariso, middle, watching duel with Anorak and Bakura, Olos, Radamantis, TSP, Uden, 11 online, 21 max history 2, enter, to show all commands and room. An invitation was sent to Uden, enter, to show all commands and room preferences.
Okay. So now I invited someone, let's hope they actually do it.
Saturday, the 23rd of May. YouTube, 11 minutes ago. From code. Smart news, 15 minutes ago. YouTube, 18 minutes ago. Maki Santoro, the making of my short-term BTS. Teaser for attachment. YouTube, 20 minutes ago. From code. Animal Crossing Cat. Twitch, Hit Catfish yesterday. My has gone live. Please show your support on check at the stream. Twitch. Saturday, 11:30. Twitch. Now, Hit Catfish. Passcode 8. 8. Delete. 110. 6. 2. 8. 6. 5. 9. WXYZ. Twitch. Welcome to Twitch. Log. What? Silent. Log. What? Username. Text view. Username. Log. Head backward. Backward. Log. User text. Time. Security. Show log. Log. Dip text. What? Password for passport. Twitch. Password auto. Q. Pass. Pass text. What? Secure text view. Is empty. Character mode. Is password. Text view. Username. Text view. Double tap. Insert point label B. B S A A D D W.
Music. Music on music.
All right. Let me just make sure I'm actually still live here, real quick. Let's see.
Dashboard.
Land. Music on news.
Okay.
Command. Auto-rack dueling with Thura. The Thura dueling auto-rack. Castiel. Clear out. Preparing to duel. Grizzle. Metal. Olos. Dragon Mantis. TST. Uden. Living online. 21 max. Reboot. Enter. To show all commands and room present. Outpost. Edit. Enter. Living on Uden. TST. Dragon Mantis. Olos. Metal. Grizzle. Clear out. Preparing to duel. Castiel. The Thura dueling auto-rack. Castiel. Land. C-A-S-T-I-E-L. Land. Edit. Type in text. Yugioh. Edit. Communication was sent to Castiel. Enter. To show all commands and room preferences. Castiel. Join this room. Castiel. Remove the team 2.
Oh, great. Here we go.
Castiel. Over the deck. You start the duel. You need to play rock, paper, scissors to decide upon duel. Go first. What do you want to choose? 1 rock, 2 paper, 3 scissors. Type a number. You choose paper. Here are the results. Clear out has chosen paper. Castiel has chosen scissors. You lost, so you must wait for your opponent to choose if they want to go first. Castiel decides to go first. Challenge. The duel between Castiel and Clear out has begun. Type dueling for a list of usable commands. Opponent. Through high cards. Through high cards. 1. Who's warrior? 2. Foolish burial. 3. Effect failure. 4. Called by the grave. 5. Jump forward. Castiel's turn. Entering draw phase.
Okay.
Castiel activating must run red call.
Using a Synchro Monster deck 2. I have 2 monsters.
Castiel shows you 1 card. 1. Crimson Resonator. Page 1. Who's warrior level 1. Page 2. Foolish burial. Page 3. Effect failure level 1. Page 4. Called by the grave. Page 5. Jump forward level 3. Castiel activating no 2 Crimson Resonator. Castiel special. Select card. Page 3. Effect failure. Negate monster effects until the end phase. Activating H3 effect failure. Your card H3 effect failure was sent to the graveyard. Select the face of card. Select 1 to 1 card separated by spaces. 1 Crimson Resonator on 1. Enter a line of. Clear out card is on 1 Crimson Resonator.
So I just used a monster's effect to negate
Castiel summoning Resonator 1600/0 in face of attack position.
his monster's effect.
Castiel card on 1 Crimson Resonator was sent to the graveyard. Castiel card on 2 Red Familiar was sent to the graveyard.
But it doesn't get matter because he
Castiel special summon Red Rising Dragon 100/1600 in face of attack position. Castiel activating on 1 Red Rising Dragon.
Tribute.
Castiel card is on 2 Crimson Resonator. Castiel card on 2 Crimson Resonator returns from the graveyard to the field and on 2. Castiel special summoning Crimson Resonator 800/300 in face of attack position.
doesn't didn't matter.
Castiel activating on 2 Crimson Resonator. Castiel special summoning Crimson Resonator 100/100 in face of defense position. Castiel special summoning Chain Resonator 100/100 in face of defense position. Castiel
Oh
shuffles
boy.
Castiel card on 1 Red Rising Dragon was sent to the graveyard. Castiel card on 2 Crimson Resonator was sent to the graveyard. Castiel special summoning Starlight Red Dragon Archfiend 3000/25.
I knew it. I knew it.
Castiel card on 1 Starlight Red Dragon Archfiend was sent to the graveyard. Castiel card on 3 Crimson Resonator was sent to the graveyard. Castiel special summoning Hot Red Dragon Archfiend 3200/2500
Yeah, he's Synchro Summoning.
Castiel card is on 4 Crimson Resonator. Castiel card on 4 Crimson Resonator return to their hand.
Oh, and he's got the tuner again. Wow, first turn he already summons Archfiend. I need that Chunk Warrior fast. Or Junk Speeder. Let's see. I'll have to figure out myself. The good news is he can't attack me this turn.
Castiel sets up 1 in face down position. Castiel card on 1 Hot Red Dragon Archfiend was sent to the graveyard. Castiel card on 4 Chain Resonator was sent to the graveyard. Castiel special summoning Hot Red Dragon Archfiend 3500/3000 in face of attack position. Your turn. Entering draw phase. Through 1 card. 1. That's it. Select Chain C to cancel. Phase 3. Called by the grave. Select card to Chain C. Select card to Chain. Phase 3. Called by the grave. Select Chain C to cancel.
Okay.
Phase 3. Called by the grave.
Okay, so I could banish one of his cards. Might as well, I guess.
Select place for card. 1 of S1, S2, S3, S4, S5. Activating S1 called by the grave. Select the card to banish. Select 1 to 1 card separate. Enter 6. Red Familiar Rock 2. 5. Red Rising Dragon Dog 4. Starlight Red Dragon Archfiend 3. Synchro Resonator Rock 5. 4. Starlight Red Dragon Archfiend Dog 4. Clear out target top 4 card with red dragon arcane. Cast your card out 4 card with red dragon arcane with damage. Your card is one called by the grave will send to the graveyard. Select the card on which to perform an act. Summonable in attack position. H1, H3, H4. Summonable in defense position. H1, H3, H4. Special summonable H3. Activatable H2. Settable H2. Select the card.
Okay, so what I just did there is I took a Red Dragon Archfiend out of the game, so he cannot play it again in his graveyard. So, let's say from his graveyard he summons it from his graveyard. He cannot do it anymore because I took it out of the game, which is rocks for me.
Jump forward. S. Summon this card. Jump forward monster effect. Earth warrior attack 900 defense 1500 level 3. If you control no monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. Select action for jump forward.
Okay, that will help me.
Select place for card 1 of M1, M2, M3. Select position for jump. Clear out space. Jump forward 900 slash 1500 face up
Putting that in
defense
defense position because I don't want to attack yet, because I want to be able to Synchro Summon, but I need a monster
Select the
that
card on
can
which to
let me
perform
do
an action.
that.
Show your hand. Select the card on summonable in attack position. H1, H3. Summonable in defense position. H1, H3. Activatable H2. Settable H2. Select the foolish burial T. Set this card. Select who's warrior S. Summon this. Select the Jet Synchron S. Summon this card. Jet Synchron monster effect. Tuner fire machine attack 500 defense 0 level 1. If this card is sent to the Giant Synchro, select the card. Disable M1. Jump forward 900 slash 1500 level 3 face up defense. Select the card.
Dang it.
Who's warrior S. Who's warrior monster effect. Fire warrior attack 300 defense 200 level 1. If you control a face up tuner monster, you can special summon this card from your hand and face up defense position. All warrior type monsters you control gain 300 ATK. Select action for who's warrior.
Okay, I will
Select the
summon
card on which to
this
perform an action. H. Jet Synchron S. Summon this card in face up attack position. M. Summon this card in face.
specifically
Select place for card. Clear out summon Jet Synchron 500
for the
slash 0
fact
face
that
up
I
attack
can
position.
special summon that card.
The position of card has 1 red rain will change to face up. Cast your activating has 1 red rain. Your card M1 jump forward was banished. Your card M2 Jet Synchron was banished. Cast your card has 1 red rain will send to the graveyard. Select the card on which to perform an action. H. Show your hand. B. Activatable H2. Settable H2. Select the card. Cast your turn. Entering draw phase. Opponent through 1 card.
Okay, so what he did is he used an effect to banish those 2 monsters that I just summoned. So now I have no monsters in the field, and he could attack me with
Opponent states M1. Hot red dragon machine gain 3500 slash 3000 level 10 face up attack.
3,500 points of
Cast your
damage.
activating must be resonator command. Cast your discard 01 force resonator.
Dashboard. Heading. Dismiss. Put. Dismiss. Down. Manage screen.
Casio card 05 face down card return to their hand. Casio shows you 1 card. 1 monster in Wild Wind. Casio card up to resonator command was sent to the graveyard.
36 minutes and 51 seconds. Add input. Text field. Double tap to add input. Text field. Is editing.
Casio activating mark 3 red light dragon. Casio card out 3 red light dragon was banished.
Air.
Casio targets hot 5 chain resonator. Casio targets hot 3 synchron resonator. Casio card out 5 chain resonator returns from the graveyard to the field of on 3. Casio special summoning chain resonator 100 slash 100 face up attack position. Casio card out 3 synchron resonator returns from the graveyard to the field of on 2. Casio special summoning synchron resonator 100 slash 100 face up attack position. Casio activating on 1 hot red dragon machine gain. Casio tributes on 3 chain resonator.
Okay, good, it works. On the phone. Okay, good.
Casio targets hot 3 hot red dragon machine abyss.
Oh boy.
Casio card out 3 hot red dragon machine abyss returns from the graveyard to the field of on 3. Casio special summoning hot red dragon machine abyss 3200 slash 2500 face up attack position.
This is gonna hurt, I'll tell ya.
Casio summoning crimson resonator 800 slash 300 face up attack position.
Especially since he might be able to Synchro Summon again.
Tab 9. Predict send. Tab 9. Challenge. Add input. The order sent by Banner. Welcome to chat room. Chat. Activity. Chat. Chat. Welcome to the order. Chat mode. Chat mode. Chat mode. Welcome chat. Ask Margaret. Put. Active follow me. Viewing session 3. 610. Session. Put. Manage screen. Put. Dashboard. Heading. Dash. Dismiss. Put. Dismiss. Put. Retesting Mortal Kombat 11. Followers. Views. 3. 16. Go on. View dashboard. Selected. Home. Put. About. Put. Schedule. Put. Video. Clips. Chat. Put. Live. 1 viewer. Live.
Casio card on 2 synchron resonator was sent to the graveyard. Casio card on 3 hot red dragon machine abyss was sent to the graveyard. Casio card on 4 synchron resonator was sent to the graveyard. Casio special summoning hot red dragon machine can damage 4000 slash 3500 face up attack position. Casio activating mark 7 synchron resonator. Casio targets hot 9 crimson resonator. Casio activating mark 3 red ring. Casio activating mark 2 hot red dragon machine can damage. Casio card on 3 red ring return to their hand. Casio card out 8 crimson resonator return to their hand. Opponent stable M1 hot red dragon machine gain 3500 slash 3000 level 10 face up attack. M2 hot red dragon machine can damage 4000 slash 3500 level 12 face up attack. Casio prepares to attack with on 1 hot red dragon machine gain. Hot red dragon machine gain 3500 slash 3000 attack. 0 P decreased by 3500. Now 4500.
Okay, that's work on my phone.
Neutral locked in. Neutral locked in.
Okay, good. That's good.
Casio prepares to attack with on 2 hot red dragon machine can damage. Hot red dragon machine can damage 4000 slash 3500 attack. 0 P decreased by 4000. Now 500.
I got 500 life points left. Holy crap. I might just be destroyed. I went from 8,000 to freaking 500 life points in one turn. The heck? Ugh. How did that even happen? I was trying to Synchro Summon and goodbye. Things like this, sometimes happen, I guess. I mean, heck, anything can happen. Holy crap. I think my computer's charged all the way anyway.
Casio sets us to a face down position.
Holy crap.
Your turn. Entering draw phase. Through 1 card. 1. Tuning.
Alright, I better summon a nice monster to
Select the card on
counteract
which to
that
perform an action.
card.
It shows your hand. Tap and tap to show your opponent's table. Show usable cards. B. Enter the battle phase. E. End phase. Select the card. Summonable in attack position. Phase 1. Summonable in defense position. Phase 1. Activatable. Phase 2. Phase 3. Settable. Phase 2. Phase 3. Select the card.
Okay.
Whose warrior S. Summon this card in face up attack position. M. Summon it. Whose warrior monster effect. Fire warrior attack. 300 defense. 200 level 1. If you control a face up tuner monster, you can special summon this card from your hand in face up defense position. All warriors
I
have
need tuner
monster. Select the
monster.
card. Tuning T. Set this card. Tuning spell. Add 1 synchro tuner from your deck to your hand. Then send the top card of your deck to the die. Select action for tuning.
Okay.
Select place for cards. 1 of S1. S2. S3. S. Activate S1 tuning.
If it does not negate the effect of this card, I will actually do okay in this duel. If it does, I am screwed. So, yeah.
Select the
It's all,
cards to add to your hand. Select 1 card separated into
thank
phases. 1. Enter a line of deck. 12. Jet synchro deck. 11. Steam synchro deck. 10.
Okay.
Jet synchro deck. 9. Satellite synchro deck. 8. Road synchro deck.
Okay, I'll take Road Synchron because Road Synchron is level 4.
8. Road synchro deck. Card 11. Road synchro return to hand. You shuffle your deck. Your card 32 synchro chase was sent to the graveyard. Your card S1 tuning was sent to the graveyard.
Okay, now I can summon Road Synchron and Boost Warrior.
Select
And
the card on which to perform an
should
action.
be
It
able
shows
to
your
summon
hand.
level 5 at least.
Summonable in attack position. Phase 1. Phase 3. Summonable in defense position. Phase 1. Phase 3. Activatable. Phase 2. Settable. Phase 2. Select the card. Road synchro S. Summon this card in face up attack position. M's. Road synchro monster effect. Tuner light machine. Attack 1600 defense. 800 level 4. When using this card as synchro material for the synchro summon. Select place for cards 1 of M1. M. Your option. Road synchro 1600/800 face up attack position.
Okay. That's good.
The position of the card up to red rain was changed to face
And
up
I'm dead.
up to red rain. Your card M1 road synchro was vanished. Cassio's card on 1 red dragon machine was vanished. Cassio's card up to red rain was sent to the graveyard. Select the card on which to perform an action. Phase show. Activatable. Phase 2. Settable. Phase 2. Select the card. Foolish Burial. T. Set this card. T. Activate this card. I. Show card info. Z. Back. Select place for cards 1 of S1. S2. S3. Activating S1 Foolish Burial. Select the card to send to the graveyard. Select 1 to 1 card. Enter 21. Jump forward deck. 20. Double layer deck. Your card 2 double layer was sent to the graveyard. You shuffle your deck. Your card S1 Foolish Burial was sent to the graveyard. Select the card.
I'm done.
Opponent through 1 card.
I'm done. There's no way. I've done 2 turns. Already finished.
Cassio activating monster resonator calls.
Why would he not just attack me?
Cassio card 1 face down card return to their hand. Cassio shows you 1 card. 1 synchro resonator. Cassio card 3 resonator call was sent to the graveyard. Cassio special summon synchro resonator 100/100 in face up defense position.
Okay, fine. You can't just you know
Cassio special summon monster resonator 1700/1300 in face up attack position.
do this.
Cassio summon resonator 800/300 in face up
boy.
attack position.
Yeah, here we go. I guess we'll see what happens. But I probably will lose this duel though, because I was not able to draw the right hand. I was not able to draw the right cards. You know, if I had drawn something like
Cassio card on 3 wandering in white wind was sent to the graveyard. Cassio card on 4 crimson resonator was sent to the graveyard. Cassio special summon red lightning dragon 100/1600 in face up attack position. Cassio activating on 3 red lightning dragon.
yeah, I'm basically finished. See, look.
Your table is empty. Your table. Tap. Cassio card is on 11 crimson resonator. Cassio activating on 8 red rain. Cassio card on 8 red rain returns to their hand. Cassio card on 10 crimson resonator returns from the graveyard to the field on 4. Cassio special summoning crimson resonator 800/300 in face up attack position.
This is the part of dueling where you have to kind of be careful because some people are going to want to hit you with major damage
Cassio card on 3 red lightning dragon was
from
sent to
the
the graveyard.
outset.
Cassio card on 4 crimson resonator was sent to the graveyard. Cassio special summoning scarlet red dragon machine 3000/2500 in face up attack position.
Oh, he wants to
Cassio
use that
card on 1
card.
resonator was sent to the graveyard. Cassio card on 3 scarlet red dragon machine was sent to the graveyard. Cassio special summoning hot red dragon machine 200/2500 in face up attack position. Cassio activating on 12 synchro resonator. Cassio card is hot 5 chain resonator. Cassio card on 5 chain resonator returns to their hand.
Or is he trying to find the most powerful monster to hit me with? Alright. That's how you can fall from 8,000 to 500 life points. When duelists, you know, find really powerful monsters and hit you with them. You know, it's just part of the way that the game is. But, you know, if I dueled you, I probably would make it a bit more classic, you know. I like to fight people, I like to fight monsters with monsters. I don't like to fight people with card effects, unless the card effect that I use is advantageous to me in a way that...
Hot red dragon machine can calamity. Hot red dragon machine can calamity 4000/3500 attacks. Your LP decreased by 4000. Now minus 3500. Challenge. Cassio won the duel between Cassio and Clearrock. Clearrock cast DD.
So I got utterly destroyed there. But
Cassio chats. Una Steady.
let's see.
You join Clear. Duel. You finish. You remove the Take load with 56 cards. Enter. The show
I'm gonna use my other Xyz deck, but it's not really an Xyz deck because I don't really Xyz summon with this one. I just use it to summon a very powerful monster that everyone seems to like.
The man chats. Chat of. Begin to roll them item.
Let me this.
Cassio chats. Go Cosmod online. Enter. The show all command. Command, Anorak, dueling Bakura, Bakura, dueling Anorak, Casio, Clear Out, preparing to duel, Rizzo, Middle, watching duel with Anorak and Bakura, Uvo, Olos, Random Mantis, TST, Newton, 12 online, 21 nights, reboot, enter, to show all commands and room preferences.
Let's see.
Output, edit, enter, 12 online, Newton, TST, Random Mantis, Olos, Neutral, Olo, Random Mantis, Blank, R. Yugioh, edit, Metal, join this room, Blank. Metal, get moved to the team 2.
Let's see what kind of deck he has.
Metal, load the deck. You start the duel. You choose paper. You now need to wait for Metal to choose. Here are the results. Metal has chosen scissors. Clear out has chosen paper. You lost, so you must wait for your opponent to choose if they want to go first. Metal decides to go first. Challenge. The duel between Metal and Clear out has begun. Type dueling for a list of usable commands. Opponent, blue 5 cards. Blue 5 cards. 1. Dark Beckoning Beast. 2. Chaos Summoning Beast. 3. Uriel, Lord of Searing Flames. 4. Dimension Fusion Destruction. 5. Dark Beckoning Beast. Metal's turn. Entering draw phase.
Oh boy. So I have these monsters are meant to tribute specifically to summon a nice 4,000 attack point monster, which I would use, but it depends on what kind of deck he has. But if I am able to summon 3 of these 4,000 attack point monsters that are called Hammond, Yugioh, and forgot the other name. But if I'm able to summon that, I can summon this level 10 or level 12 monster, I think that's what the level is, level 12. And basically, it is a monster called Untitled the Chaos Dragon. And Untitled the Chaos Dragon, well, has 10,000 attack points. And a really awesome effect that I don't remember what the effect is until I remember it. Because it's really not that easy to summon him. But if I do summon him, I'm basically the winner of the duel, because yeah. But he's using a Link Summoning deck called Goki Super. I guess the monsters are the monsters are Link Summoning monsters. I know that because I've seen the anime that has these monsters in them. So he's using a newer deck that was used in the anime. I'm using another deck that was not used in the anime, but was used, you know, for fun in other places, probably in some tournaments. But who knows? I'm not that big into some tournaments because I can't actually see what's going on in the tournaments, and they don't really explain to you what's going on in the tournaments. They just tell you that they're using different cards. They don't tell you what kind of cards they are or what monsters. Remember I told you that this Link monsters don't have defense points? Well, that's why it said only 1,000. So he's using an effect from his Link monster.
Middle activating on 2 health equals cover. Middle tribute on 2 health equals cover. Middle targets on 6 LPD over. Middle activating on 6 LPD over. Middle star 34 face down card return to their hand. Middle shows you 1 card. 1 LP rematch.
Oh boy.
Middle star 24 face down card return to their hand. Middle shows you 1 card. 1 LP finisher. Middle activating on 4 LP equals cover.
Now his monsters probably will not be as powerful as mine. But I gotta be careful, because he could probably find a way to banish my monsters. It's very possible. But this deck is my most powerful deck. Well, besides the couple others that I have that are somewhat powerful, but for different various reasons.
Middle target top 1 LP Vera. Middle target top 4 LP cover. Middle star dot 4 LP cover returns from the graveyard to the field on 1. Middle special summoning LP cover 1600/0 in face of defense position. Middle star dot 1 LP Vera returns from the graveyard to the field on 2. Middle special summoning LP Vera 2400/0 in face of defense position. Middle star dot 2 LP rematch was sent to the graveyard. Middle star dot 1 LP cover was sent to the graveyard. Middle star dot 2 LP Vera was sent to the graveyard. Middle star dot 6 LP over was sent to the graveyard. Middle special summoning LP rematch over 2800 in face of attack position. Middle activating on 5 LP Vera.
Nice Link monster. I apologize if this YouTube video or this is a Twitch chat, but I'm going to upload this to YouTube at some point soon. So if the YouTube video eventually becomes too long, I am not going to stop streaming, but I'm just going to tell you it's a long video. But, you know, it's Yugioh, and Yugioh is one of those games where you can expect to have a long time, you know.
Summon attack position, H1, H2, H5. Summon defense position, H1, H2, H5. Settle, H4, H6. Select the card.
Okay.
Start Mechanum Beast, S. Summon this card. Select. Chaos Summoning Beast. Select the card. Start Mechanum Beast, S. Summon this card. Start Mechanum Beast monster. Effect. Start clean. Attack 0 defense 0 level 2. When this card is normal summons, you can add 1 Lord of Searing Flames, 1 Payment, Lord of Strike and Thunder, 1 Radial, Lord of Phantasms, or 1 card that specifically lists any of those names in its text from your deck to your hand, except Start Mechanum Beast. You can only use this effect of Start Mechanum Beast once per turn. During your main phase, you can normal summon 1 team monster with 0 ATK and depth. In addition to your normal summon slash set, you can only gain this effect once per turn. Select action for Start Mechanum Beast. Select the card. Chaos Summoning Beast. Chaos Summoning Beast monster. Effect. Start clean. Attack 0 defense 0 level 1. You can tribute this card. Special summon 1 Lord of Searing Flames. Select place for card. Clear on summon Chaos Summoning Beast 0/0 face up attack position. Select the card on which to provide. Special summon X1, X2, activatable M1, settle H3, H5. Chaos Summoning Beast, activate M1 Chaos Summoning Beast, you tribute M1 Chaos Summoning Beast. Select the monster to special summon. Select 1 to 1, enter lock 1, Lord of Searing. Select place for card 1 of M1, M2, M3. Invalid card spec, private. Select position 3. Clear out special summon Lord of Searing Flames 0/0 face up attack position. Select the card on which to perform an action.
Okay.
Activatable D1, settle H2, H4. Select the card. Chaos Summoning Beast, activate this card. I show card. Activated D1 Chaos Summoning Beast. Your card D1 Chaos Summoning Beast was banished. Select the card to add to your hand. Select 1 to 1 card, enter lock 3, fallen paradise deck. Card 23 fallen paradise return to hand. Select the card on which to perform an action. H shows your hand. Tab and tab 2 shows your opponent's deck. Activatable H5, settle H3, H4, H5. Select the card. Fallen paradise D, set this card. D, activate this card. Activate F6 fallen paradise. Select the card on which to perform an action. Fallen paradise D, activate this card. Activate F6 fallen paradise. Through 2 cards. 1 Dark Summoning Beast. 2 Dimension Fusion Destruction. Select the card.
Okay, I'll explain what I've done here.
Settle H3, H4, H6. Select the card.
I'll explain what I've done here after I've ended my turn, because what I've done basically is I've summoned one of these 3 monsters. This one itself does not contain any attack points, but it does have a great effect. That I'll show you what it is.
You are Lord of Searing Flames monster effect. Special summon fire, attack 0 defense 0 level 10. Cannot be normal summon slash set. Must be special summon from your hand by sending 3 face up trap cards you control to the graveyard. And cannot be special summoned by other ways. This card gains 1000 ATK for each continuous trap card in your graveyard. Once per turn, you can target 1 set spell slash trap card your opponent controls. Destroy that target. Neither player can activate spell slash trap cards in response to this effect's activation. Select action for you, Lord of Searing Flame. Select the card on which to perform an action. H shows your hand. Tap and tap. Settle H3, H4, H6. Select the card. Half a break. T. Set this card. Select the card on with Dimension Fusion Destruction. Select the card on Dimension Fusion Destruction. T. Set this. Select the card. Half a break. T. Set this. Select place for card 1 of S1, S2, S3. You set S1 half a break and face down position. Select the card on which to perform an action. H shows your hand. Tap and tap 2 shows your opponent. Settle H3, H5. Select the card.
Hold on, I'm streaming right now on Twitch.
Dimension Fusion Select the card. Dimension Fusion Select the card on which to perform an action. H shows your hand. Tap and tap 2 shows your opponent's table. Show usable cards. D. Enter the
Why
back
not?
end phase. Select the card.
What's your turn?
Metal turn. Entering
Metal
card.
War.
1 card. Select change to cancel. S1 half a break. Select card to the position of card S1 half a break will change to face up. Activated S1 half a break. Enter a line of 2. Lord of Searing Flames M1. 1. Copy the master over on 6. 2. Lord of Searing. Clear target M1. Lord of Searing Flames. Your card S1 half a break will send to the graveyard.
So half one break is a trap that allows me to, when I get attacked, take half the damage, and my monster cannot be destroyed that one turn. But it only works once per turn. So if he attacks me with another monster, it gets destroyed and I still take damage. But it works out for me in that way. So, there we go. Fallen Paradise is another trap that I have that is that allows me to draw 2 cards once per turn. So you draw some cards until you get 5, but you're still able to draw two more cards. So I can draw two more cards once per turn, which is great for me because that means I can.
All encounters, encounters, steam encounters, messenger, map, all join call, accept,
Hold on. Hey, Dad.
Hi there, buddy.
Hi there. Sure, how?
Yeah.
Metal activating must not finisher. Metal target on 6 copy the master over. Metal star one copy finisher was sent to the graveyard.
Yeah. Alright, I'll do it.
Middle star on 1 LP dead was sent to the graveyard. Middle star on 2 LP super was sent to the graveyard. Middle star on 2000 face up attack position. Middle activating mod 7 LP dead. Middle activating mod 8 LP super.
Oh, great.
Middle star 14 face down card return to their hand. Middle
Nice.
star 1 LP face turn.
Okay, then.
Middle star 29 face down card return to their hand. Middle shows you 1 card.
Well, you have a couple of interests.
Middle activating mod 1 LP face turn.
$100 for me is awesome.
Middle targets on 1 LP dead over. Middle targets on 1 LP dead over.
Okay.
Middle targets on 2 LP was cover. Card on 1 LP dead over destroyed. Middle star on 2 LP was cover returns from the graveyard to the field on 1. Middle special summoning LP was cover 1600 select 0 face up defense position. Middle star on 1 LP face turn was sent to the graveyard. Middle activating mod 8 LP dead over. Middle activating mod 1 LP was cover. Middle tributes on 1 LP was cover.
I'll check it out, Dad.
Middle targets on 6 LP master over. Middle activating mod 10 LP was cover.
Okay. At least they're actually going to pay us.
Table M1, you are Lord of Zero claims 0/0 level 10 face up attack S6, fallen paradise face up. Middle star 07
Okay.
face up, card return to their hand. Middle shows you 1 card, 1 LP finisher.
Okay.
Middle prepares to attack M1, you are Lord of Zero claims with on 6 LP master over. LP master over 8900 attack, you are Lord of Zero claims 0/0, pure LP decreased by 4450, now 3550.
Oh, very cool.
Your turn, entering top phase, through 1 card, 1, you are Lord of Zero claims, select the card on which to perform an action, phase defense, summonable in attack position, phase 1, phase 2, phase 4, summonable in defense position, phase 1, phase 2, phase 4, activatable, S6, repositionable, M1, settable, phase 3, phase 5, select, fallen paradise, activating S6, fallen paradise, through 2 cards, 1, chaos core, 2, 7 sphere gates unleashed, select, summonable in attack position, phase 1, phase 2, phase 4, phase 7, summonable in defense position, phase 1, phase 2, phase 4, phase 7, activatable, phase 8, repositionable, M1, settable, phase 3, phase 5, Dark Mechanism Beast S, summon, select the card, Dark Mechanism Beast S, select the card on, Dark Summoning Beast S, select the card on which to perform an action, phase show your hand, happen, chaos core S, summon this card, select the card on which to perform an action. The 7 sphere gates unleashed. Key. Set this card. Key. Activate. Select the card on which to perform an action. Face shows your hand. Tab and tab 2 shows your opponent's table. Show usable. Dark Summoning Beast S. Dark Summoning Beast Monster Effect. Dark Fiend. Attack 0 defense 0 level 5. You can tribute this card. Special summon 1 Uriel. Lord of Searing Flames. Payment. Lord of Strike and Thunder. Irradial. Lord of Phantasms from your hand for deck. Ignoring its summoning conditions. Also monsters you control cannot attack for the rest of this turn. You can only use this effect. Select the card. Page 1 Dark Mechanism Beast level 2. Page 2 Dark Mechanism Beast level 2. Page 3 Dimension Fusion Destruction. Page 4 Dark Summoning Beast level 5. Page 5 Dimension Fusion Destruction. Page 6 Uriel. Lord of Searing Flames level 10. Page 7 Chaos Core level 3. Page 8 the
Okay.
Gates unleashed. Dark Summoning Beast S. Summon this card and face up. Simple action. Dark Summoning Beast S. Summon this card and face up.
Hold on.
Summon this card and face up. Defense position. I.
I'm trying to do two things at once.
Select the monster attribute. Select 1 to 1 cards attribute separated by spaces. 1 Uriel. Lord of Searing Flames M1. Enter a line of text. Use tribute M1 Uriel. Lord of Searing Flames. Select place for card 1 of M1, M2, M3, M4, M5. Enter a line of text. Select place for card 1 of M1, M2. Clear on summon card summon Beast 0/0 face up attack position. Select the card on which to perform an action. Activatable page 7, M1, settable page 3, page 4, page 7. Select the card.
Okay.
The 7 sphere gates unleashed. Set this card. Deactivate this. The 7 sphere gates unleashed spell continuous when this card is activated. Add 1 Uriel. Lord of Searing Flames. 1 payment. Lord of Strike and Thunder. 1 radial. Lord of Phantasms. For 1 monster that specifically lists any of those names in this text from your deck to your hand. Once per turn, you can discard 1 card. Special summon 1 fiend monster with 0 ATK and death from your side. Once per turn, if you control level 10 monster, you can add
Love
1
you, Dad.
continuous spell from your side to your hand. You can only activate 1 to 7 sphere gates unleashed per turn. Select action for the 7 sphere gates unleashed.
Okay. Basically, what I've done
Action.
is I've resummoned that monster that I just lost.
The 7 sphere gates unleashed spell continuous when this card is activated. Add 1 Uriel. Lord of Searing Flames. 1 payment. Lord of Strike and Thunder. 1 radial. Lord of Phantasms. For 1 monster that specifically lists any of
First,
those.
let me just
Select the card.
remove
Dark Summoning Beast. V. Summon Sacred Beast. I. Show card info. Z. Back. Select action for Dark Summon. Dark Summoning Beast monster effect. Dark Fiend. Attack 0 defense 0 level 5. You can tribute this card. Special summon 1 Uriel. Lord of Searing Flames. Payment. Lord of Strike and Thunder. Activating M1 Dark Summoning Beast. Tribute M1 Dark Summoning Beast. Select the monster with special summon. Select 1 to 1 card separated by spaces. 1 radial. Lord of Phantasms deck. 2 radial. Lord of Phantasms deck. 3 payment. Lord of Strike and Thunder. Select place for card 1 of M1, M2, M3, M4, M. Select position for radial. Lord of Phantasms. 1 face up attack. 2 face up defense. Clear out special summon radial. Lord of Phantasms. 4000/4000 face up attack position. Control your deck. Select
There
the
we
card on
go.
which to perform. Activatable. P3, page 7, settle, page 3, page 4, page 7. Opponent's table M6, Galpy Master over 2800 link rating 4 face up attack S6, Galpy cage match face up counter, Galpy defense 3, zone lead by Galpy Master over M6, M1, M2, M3, M4, select the card.
Well, I can attack him, and I will win.
Challenge, miscreated a new dual room.
But I also might fall for a trap. So
Add menu M.
Only gonna try?
Add menu M. Input option. Add menu M. Main phase 2. E end phase. Select an option.
Oh.
Select the card on list to perform an activatable. G3, H7, settable. H3, H4, H7. Select the card. Dimension fusion destruction. T. Set this card. I. Show card. Select the card. Dark summoning beast. V. Search sacred beast. I. Show card info. Z. Activating G3 dark summoning beast. Your card G3 dark summoning beast was banished. Select the card to add to your hand. Select Pendulum 6. Hammond Lord of Spike and 5. Hammond Lord of Spike and Thunder deck 4. Radial Lord of Hand at 5. Hammond Lord of Spike and Thunder deck
5.
Card 3. Hammond Lord of Spike and Thunder return to hand. Select the card on list to perform an action. H shows your hand. Add activatable. H2, H6, H8. Settle. H2, H6, H8. Select the card.
Yeah, I'm streaming right now.
The 7 Spirit Gates unleashed. T. Set this card. V. Activate this card. I. Show. The 7 Spirit Gates unleashed spell continuous when this card is activated. Add 1 Uriel Lord of Searing Flames. 1 Hammond Lord of
I
Spike and
explain
Thunder.
it.
Radial Lord of Phantasms. 1 monster that specifically lists any of those names in its text from your deck to your hand. Once per turn, you can discard 1 card. Special summon 1 team monster with 0 ATK and death from your side. Once per turn. Select place for card. 1 of S1, S2, S3. Activating S1 the 7 Spirit Gates unleashed. Select the card to add to your hand. 12 Uriel 11 Radial Lord of 12 Uriel Lord of Card 3 Uriel Lord of Searing Flames return to hand. Select the card on list to perform an action. H shows your hand. Tab 2 activatable. H2, H5. Settle. H2, H5. Select the card. Dimension fusion destruction. T. Set it. Select it. Dimension fusion destruction. Select the card on list to perform an action. H shows your hand. Tab. Your table M1 Radial Lord of Phantasms 4000/4000 level 10 face up attack S1 the 7 Spirit Gates unleashed face up S6 fallen paradise face up select the card. The 7 Spirit Gates unleashed I show card info. Select the card to discard. Select 2 cards separated by spaces. 1 Uriel Lord of Searing Flames H1 2 Dimension fusion destruction H2 3 Dark Mechanism H3 4 Uriel Lord of Searing Flames H4 5 Dimension fusion destruction H5 6 Dark Mechanism H. You discarded H2 Dimension fusion destruction. You discarded H4 Dimension fusion destruction. Metal turn entering draw phase. Opponent through 1 card.
Okay, so I needed to discard those Dimension Fusion Destructions because Dimension Fusion Destruction is not a very interesting. It's a good card, but not for this deck. But I had them specifically so that I could use them just in case I needed to, take those 2 cards and discard them, which I did. So, but what I basically did here is I resummoned a new monster with 4,000 attack points. But his monsters now are not as powerful as my monsters. So he can't really do anything right now to attack me unless he finds a way to banish my monster. So at this point in time, he does not have any powerful monsters as powerful as mine, unless he's able to link summon or something else. But I honestly doubt that would happen because that's not really what happens here. I mean, I'll summon Hammer in defense mode, and Hammond in defense mode is great because that means I have some great defense, 4,000 defense points. And that is crazy stuff, man. Crazy stuff. And then I'll summon Yugioh. Once I summon Yugioh... Oh yes, and the best part is Raviel negates the effect...
M4, M5. Select position for Phantasm token. 1 face up attack, 2 face up defense.
I'm not going to summon a Phantasm token, so that I have extra defense. So whenever he summons a monster, I can summon a Phantasm token, and I have extra defense now. Which is awesome. Raviel gives me that ability. Yugioh takes care of the traps, and Hammond is great in defense. There we go.
Metal targets on 2 Alpine Salt. Challenge. You overseen 2 units at the gun. Metal targets on 8 Alpine Jet Ogre. Card on 2 Alpine Salt destroyed. Metal card on 8 Alpine Jet Ogre returns to the graveyard with a deal on 1. Metal special summoning Alpine Jet Ogre 2000 in face up attack position. Metal card on 1 Alpine face turn was sent to the graveyard.
Unless he's able to benefit one.
Metal targets on 6 Alpine Master Ogre. Metal card on 1 Alpine finisher was sent to the graveyard.
Might have some problems. Or he's able to attack a monster. Oh, he'll attack my Phantasm token.
Metal prepares to attack M1 Radial Lord of Phantasms with on 6 Alpine Master Ogre. Alpine Master Ogre 60 attacks Radial Lord of Phantasms.
Holy crap!
Increased by 2800. Now 750. Card M1 Radial Lord of Phantasms destroyed. Metal activated on 6
Did he really find a monster that powerful? Holy, I didn't know they were powerful. I didn't know they were monsters that powerful. Holy crap! Wow. Was not expecting that. Not expecting that at all. But
summonable in attack position, phase 2, phase 4, phase 5, summonable in defense position, phase 2, phase 4, phase 5, select the card.
That's fine.
Dark Mechanism Beast S, summon this card and face up. Dark Mechanism Beast monster effect, Dark Fiend, attack 0 defense, 0 level 2. When this card is normal summon, you can add 1 Uriel Lord of Searing Flame. Select the card. Dark Mechanism Beast S, summon this card. Select. Chaos 4 S, summon this card and face up attack position. Chaos 4 monster effect, Dark Fiend, attack 0 defense, 0 level 3. When the card effect is activated, that targets this card. Or when this card is targeted for an attack by an opponent's monster, quick effect, you can send up to 1 Uriel Lord of Searing Flames, Hammond Lord of Spike and Thunder, and Slasher Radial Lord of Phantasms from your hand and Slasher deck to the die. And if you do, place the same number of Phantasm counters on this card. And if you do that, you take no battle damage for the rest of this turn. You can only use this effect of Chaos 4 once per turn. If this card would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can remove 1 Phantasm counter from this card instead. Select action for Chaos 4. Select the card on Dark Mechanism Beast S, summon this card and face up attack position. M, summon this card and face down defense.
Well, I have only
Select
Dark Mechanism Beast.
Dark Mechanism Beast S, summon this card and face. Dark Mechanism Beast monster effect, Dark Fiend, attack 0 defense, 0 level 2. When this card is normal summon, you can add 1 Uriel Lord of Searing Flame. Select the card. Uriel Lord of Searing Flames. I show card info. Select the Uriel Lord of Searing Flames. I. Select the card. Dark Mechanism Beast S, summon this card and face up. Select Chaos 4 S, summon this card and face up attack. Select the card. Summonable in attack position, phase 2, phase 4, phase 5.
This
Summonable
is
in
a
defense
test
position,
of
phase 2,
a
phase 4, phase
chatter.
5.
You need
Select
a
the card.
brick wall defense.
Hey, thanks, dude. Yeah. I don't really have that right now. I would have had Hammond, but I forgot that I summoned Raviel to try to see if I could get some attack, but it didn't work out that well. Also, the chat works. I have this thing called TCTS that allows me to do Twitch chat. Okay, here we go.
Select list. Clear up summon card beast 0/0 face up
So
attack.
I'll
Activate an M1 target beast. Select the cards to add to your hand. Select 1 card separated. Pendulum 17. Chaos summon beast 16. Sacred beast awakening deck 15. Payment Lord of Spike and Thunder deck.
oh perfect. I can summon
Output.
the summoning beast.
7. Chaos summon beast 6. The 7 spirit case 5. Sacred beast awakened 4. Dark summon beast deck 4. Dark summon. Yugioh edit item text. Card 18 dark summon beast return to hand. Select the card on list to perform an action. Page shows your hand. Summonable in attack position. Page 2. Page 6. Page 7. Select the card. Dark Beckoning beast S. Select the card. Yugioh Lord of Searing Flames I. Show card. Select the card. Chaos 4 S. Summon this card in face up attack position. Select it. Dark Summoning Beast S. Summon this. Dark Summoning Beast monster effect. Dark Fiend. Attack 0 defense 0 level 5. You can tribute this card. Special summon 1 Yugioh. Select the monster attribute. Select 1 to 1 cards attribute. You tribute M1 Dark Beckoning Beast. Select place for card 1 of M1. M2. Clear out summoning Dark Summoning Beast 0/0 face up attack position. Select the card on list to perform an action. Page shows your hand. Tap and tap to show your opponent's state. Dark Summoning Beast V. Summon state. Activate an M1 Dark Summoning Beast. You tribute M1 Dark Summoning Beast. Select the monster with special summon. Select 1 to 1. Enter 7. Yugioh Lord of 6. Radio Lord of 5. Payment Lord of Spike and Thunder H3. Select place for card 1 of M1. M2. M3. M4. Select position for payment Lord of Spike and clear out special summon payment Lord of Spike and Thunder 4000/4000 face up defense position. Payment Lord of Spike and Thunder. Payment Lord of Spike and Thunder monster effect special summon light thunder attack 4000 defense 4000 level 10 cannot be normal summon /set must be special summon from your hand by sending 3 face up
Got
continuous
you,
spell card you control to the graveyard
54.
cannot be special summoned by other ways if this card destroys an opponent's monster like battle and sends it to the graveyard
How
inflict
did you
1000 damage to
get
your
it to
opponent's card in face up defense position
work?
monster your opponent
What is
controls cannot target
TCTS?
monsters for attacks except this one select action for payment Lord of Spike
Okay,
and Thunder.
so TCTS is a streaming platform, the streaming service that allows you to chat and me hear what you're saying. Let me look at the effect real quick. Hold on.
Payment Lord of Spike and Thunder monster effect special summon light thunder attack 4000 defense 4000 level 10 cannot be normal summon /set must be special summon from your hand by sending 3 face up continuous spell cards you control to the graveyard and cannot be special summoned by other ways if this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard inflict 1000 damage to your opponent while this card is in face up defense position monsters your opponent controls cannot target monsters for attacks except this one select action for payment Lord of select the card on list activatable G7 S1 S6 select the card.
And to get
Fallen
this,
Paradise B activate S6 Fallen Paradise through 2 cards 1 Radio Lord of Phantasms 2 half a break select the card on which to perform an
I
action.
keep forgetting that I have that.
Activatable G7 S1 settable H7 select the card. The 7 Spirit Gates Unleashed V activate this card I show card info. The 7 Spirit Gates Unleashed spell continuous when this card is activated add 1 Yugioh Lord of Searing Flames 1 payment Lord of Spike and Thunder 1 Radio Lord of Phantasms or 1 monster that specifically lists any of those names in this text from your deck to your hand once per turn you can discard 1 card special summon 1 fiend monster with 0 ATK and from your side once per turn if you control a level 10 monster you can add 1 continuous spell from your side to your hand you can only activate 1 to 7 activate an S1 to 7 Spirit Gates Unleashed select the card to discard select 1 to 1 card separated by spaces enter a line of 7 half upgrade H7 6 Radio Lord of Phantasms H6 5 Chaos 4 H5 4 Yugioh Lord of Searing Flames H4 3 Radio Lord of Phantasms 2 Dark Beckoning Beast H2 1 Yugioh Lord of Searing Flames H2 Dark Beckoning 5 Chaos 4 H5 5 Chaos 4 H5 you discard H5 Chaos 4 select the monster to special summon select 1 to 1 card separated by enter 3 Dark Beckoning Beast G6 2 Dark Summoning Beast G7 1 Chaos 4 G8 2 Dark Summoning Beast G7 select place for card 1 of M2 M3 select position for your card G7 Dark Summoning Beast returns from the graveyard to reveal at M2 clear out special summoning darts special summonable X3 X4 settable H6 select the card Dark Summoning Beast I show card info Z select the card on which to perform Underblock Taper Z special summon this Underblock Taper monster effect Dark Cybers attack 1000 link rating 2 link markers bottom left 2 effect monsters once per turn you can target 1 face up monster this card points to and 1 face up monster your opponent controls the opponent's target loses ATK equal to the ATK of the target this monster points to until the end of his turn select action for Underblock select the card on which to Yugioh Lord of Searing Flames I show card info Z back select it Nightmare Phoenix C special summon this card I show card info Z back Nightmare Phoenix monster effect Fire Fiend attack 1900 link rating 2 link markers right top 2 monsters with different names if this card is link summoned you can discard 1 card then target 1 spell /trap your opponent controls destroy it and if this card was co-linked when this effect was activated you can draw 1 card you can
Got
only
you,
use this effect of Nightmare Phoenix once per
54.
turn
I
co-linked
have
monster you
some
control
good news for you after the stream ends.
select the card
okay.
Underblock Taper C special summon this card I show card info Z
Let's see if
select the card
monsters.
Invalid specifier retry select the card on which to perform an act invalid specifier your table M1 payment Lord of Spike and Thunder 4000/4000 level 10 face up defense M2 Dark Summoning Beast 0/0 level 5 face up defense S1 the 7 Spirit Gates Unleashed face up S6 Fallen Paradise face up select the card special summonable X3 X4 settable H6 select the card Radio Lord of Phantasms I show card info Z back select the card half a break T set this card I show card select place for card 1 of S2 S3 S4 you set S2 half a break and face down position select the card on which to perform an act special summonable X3 X4 select the card
I could summon those monsters. Underclock Ticker would be a great monster because let's see.
opponent's table M1 Galpi Jet over 2000 link rating 2 face up attack M6 Galpi the Master over 2800 link rating 4 face up attack S6 Galpi Cage match face up counter Galpi damage 1 zone link by Galpi the Master over Arm 6 M1 M2 M3 Arm 4 select the card opponent's table M1 Galpi Jet over 2000 link rating 2 face up attack M6 Galpi the Master over 2800 link rating 4 face up attack S6 Galpi Cage match face up counter Galpi damage 1 zone link by Galpi the Master over Arm 6 M1 M2 M3 Arm 4 select the card Metal's turn entering draw phase opponent drew 1 card select Chain Z to cancel S2 half a break select card to Chain Z the position of card S2 half a break was changed to face up activate S2 half a break select the target of the effect enter a line of 4 Dark Summoning Beast M3 payment Lord of 2 Galpi the Master over Arms 1 Galpi Jet over Arm 1 3 payment Lord of Spike and Thunder M1 clear the target M1 payment Lord of Spike and Thunder your card S2 half a break was sent to the graveyard
Okay, there we go. So basically what I've done is I've activated another half and break, which is great for me because that means that my monster can't be destroyed and they take only half damage. Let's see how much left I have.
your LP 750 opponent LP 8000
No, granted, half damage from me is a lot. So might lose the duel, but hey, there we go. And after whoever wins or loses this duel, I'm gonna end the stream after this. And what I'll do is I'll get another game at some point today, and we're gonna play that for fun, just to have a little fun, see what happens. Might play some Miriani or some Cosmic Rage, something like that, or some Eurofly. If I can download Eurofly on my computer, we'll see what happens there. But this game is fun. Definitely something I want to teach people how to play. So if you want to learn how to play this game, get in touch with me at my Twitter at dbzfn94, my Facebook Leo Cantos, and if you want to get in touch with me via that, you can do that real fast. Feel free to message me or anything like that. I want to teach people how to play this game. This game has been really awesome for me. It's given me all kinds of great experiences. And yes, I've lost a lot, but I learned a lot from it. And so, if you want to learn how to play this game, I will teach you how to play, because it's fun. And especially if you're a blind person and you really want to learn how to play this game, and great awesomeness, you know. I will show you how to do it. I'm an expert, but I know enough to be able to play the game. I just gotta figure out how I can counter Exodia, because I hate freaking Exodia decks. But I know why people use them, because they automatically win if they...
Middle Stardom 1 LP Overload sent to the graveyard. Middle Stardom 2 LP Overload sent to the graveyard. Middle Stardom 6 LP Master Overload sent to the graveyard. Middle Special Summon LP the Great Over 2600 face up attack position.
Alright.
Middle activating mod 13 LP get over. Middle activating mod 14 LP with Kabla.
This might be painful, or he might actually be able to do some damage. We'll see.
Your table M1, Heyman, Lord of Titans under 0/4000 level 10 face up defense. M2, Dark Summon Beast 0/0 level 5 face up defense. S1, the 7th Spirit Gates Unleashed face up. S6, Fallen Paradise face up.
Okay, what's my S2? My half on break. Oh, that's right.
Middle Star 1 face down card return to your hand. Middle shows you 1 card. 1 LP Iron Claw.
Oh yes, and feel free if you want to get on Discord with me. I'm on the Breakdown Walls Discord, so if you want to find that Discord,
Middle prepare to attack M1 Heyman, Lord of Titans under with 6 LP the Great Over.
do that, because that's where I'm at. It's a great Discord.
LP the Great Over 3100 attacks Heyman, Lord of Titans under 0/4000. Middle LP decreased by 900, now 7100.
Yeah.
Your turn, entering draw phase, drew 1 card. 1, the 7th Spirit Gates Unleashed. Select the card on list. Summonable in attack position, phase 2. Summonable in defense position, phase 2. Special summonable, X3, X4, activatable, H6, M2, S1, S6. Dark Mechanism Beast, S, summon this card in face of attack. Dark Mechanism Beast monster effect, Dark Fiend, attack, 0 defense, 0 level 2. When this card is normal summoned, you can add 1 Yugioh, Lord of Searing Flames, 1 Heyman, Lord of Strike and Thunder, 1 Radial, Lord of Phantasms, or 1 card that specifically lists any of those names in its text from your deck to your hand, except Dark Mechanism Beast. You can only use this effect of Dark Mechanism Beast once per turn. During your main phase, you can normal summon 1 Fiend monster with 0 ATK and depth. In addition to your normal summon / set, you can only gain this effect once per turn. Select action for Dark Deck. Select place for card, 1 of M3, M4. Clear out summoning Dark Mechanism Beast 0/0 face up attack position. Activating M3 Dark Mechanism Beast. Select the card to add to your hand. Select 1 to 1, 14, 13, Dark Summoning Beast deck. 13, Dark Summoning Beast deck. 14, Dark Summoning Beast deck. Card 2 Dark Summoning Beast return to hand. Select the card on which to perform an action. It shows your hand. Tap and tap. Summonable in attack position. H2. Special summonable. X3, X4, X5. Activatable. H6, M2, S1, S6. Repositionable. M1. Nightmare Unicorn. C. Special summon this card. Select the card on which to perform. Dark Summoning Beast. S. Summon this card in face up attack position. I. Show card info. Z. Back. Select action for Dark Summoning Beast. Implement action. Dark Summoning Beast. S. Summon this card in face up. Select the monster to tribute. Select 1 to 1 cards to tribute separated by spaces. 1. Heyman, Lord of Strike and Thunder M1. 2. Dark Summoning Beast M2. 3. Dark Mechanism Beast M3. Enter a line of text. You tribute M3 Dark Mechanism Beast. Select place for card 1 of M3, M4, M5. Clear out summoning Dark Summoning Beast 0/0 face up attack position. Select it. Special summonable X3, X4, activatable H5, M2, M3, S1, S6, 3. Dark Summoning Beast, P, summon Sacred Beast, I, show card info. Activating M3 Dark Summoning Beast, you trigger M3 Dark Summoning Beast. Select the monster of the special summon. Select 1 to enter lock 6, Radial, Lord of Phantasm, 5, Yugioh, Lord of Searing Flames, H3. 4, Radial, Lord of Phantasm, 3, Yugioh, Lord of Searing Flames, H1. 2, Heyman, Lord of Spike and Thunder deck, 1, Heyman, Lord of Spike and Thunder deck, 6, Radial, Lord of Phantasm, H4. Select place for card, 1 of M3, M4, M5. Select position for Radial, Lord of... Clear out special summon, Radial, Lord of Phantasm, 4000/4000 face up attack position. Select special summonable X3, X4, X5, X7, X8, X9, X10, X11, activatable, D10, H4. Number 35, Ravenous Tarantula, C, special... Number 35, Ravenous Tarantula monster effect, Ziz, Dark Insect, attack, 0 defense, 0 rank, 10, 2 level 10 monsters. All monsters you control gain ATK and depth equal to the difference between your LP and your opponent's. When this card has Ziz material, each time your opponent special summons a monster S, inflict 600 damage to your opponent. Once per turn, you can detach 1 Ziz material from this card. Destroy all face-up monsters your opponent controls with ATK less than or equal to this card. Select action for number 35, Ravenous Tarantula.
Holy crap. He's got...
Your LP 750, opponent LP 7100, and you 4. Invalid action. Number 35. Ravenous Tarantula. C. Special summon this card. I. Show card info. Select the card that uses this material. Select 2 Tendril, 2 Radial, Lord of Cat 1, Payment, Lord of Spike and Thunder. Select list for cards 1 of M1, M3. Select position for number 35. Ravenous Tarantula. 1 face up attack, 2 face up defense. Type a number and board.
Each.
Got you 54. Share this with Facebook and Twitter.
Face attack.
Clear up special summon number 35. Ravenous Tarantula 0/0 in face up attack position. Special summonable X3, X4, activatable G10, H4, M1, S1, repositionable M2, settable H4. Fallen Paradise. I. Show card info. Z. Back. Select. The 7 spirit gates unleashed. V. Select the card on which the special summonable X3, X4, activatable G10, H4, M1, S1, repositionable M2, settable H4. Select the card. Number 35. Number 35. Ravenous Tarantula monster effect. Ziz. Dark insect. Attack 6350 defense 6350 rank 10. 2 level 10 monsters. All monsters you control gain ATK and equal to the difference between your LP and your opponent's. This card has Ziz material. Each time your opponent special summons a monster S, inflict 600 damage to your opponent once per turn. You can detach 1 Ziz material from this card. Destroy all face-up monsters your opponent controls with ATK less than or equal to this card. Select action for number 35. Ravenous Tarantula.
Oh, awesome.
Activate M1 number 35. Ravenous Central line of test 2 Radial, Lord of Phantasms 1. Your card 1 payment, Lord of Spike and Thunder was sent to the graveyard. Card arm 6 copy the over destroyed. Select the card on which to perform an action. H shows your hand. Tap and tap 2 shows your
And
battle menu. F main phase 2. E end phase. Select an option.
well, I can't
Select the card on which to perform an
attack.
action. Special summonable X3, X4, activatable G10, H4, S1, repositionable M2, settable H4. Select the card. Dark Summoning Beast. V. Search Sacred Beast. I. Show card. Activating G10 Dark Summoning Beast. Your card G10 Dark Summoning Beast was banished. Select the card to add to your hand. 2 payment, Lord of Spike 1 payment, Lord of Spike and Thunder deck. Card 15 payment, Lord of Spike and Thunder return to hand. Select the card on which to perform an action. H shows your hand. Special summonable X3, X4, activatable H3, S1, repositionable M2, settable H3. Select the card. The 7 spirit gates unleashed. Z. Set this card. V. Activate this card. I. Show card info. Z. Select the card on which to perform an action. Special summonable X3, X4, activatable H3, S1, repositionable M2, settable H3. Select the card.
Yeah.
Medals turn. Entering draw phase. Opponent through 1 card.
The key? Here. Wait, what, you guys got food?
No, I'm taking the trash out. Doing what I said I would.
Oh. It's on the desk here.
You mean this thing?
Yeah.
It's small.
Okay, so now, let's see.
What are you doing anyway?
Opponent's phase S6. LP page match face up counter. LP D1.
Huh?
What are you doing anyway?
Playing Yugioh. He is defenseless. No monsters at all. He's got that 1 spell card. And if he summons a monster, I can do 600 points of damage for every monster that he summons. And once per turn, I can destroy all his monsters. But his life points right now, because
Medal activate. No 2,000 ring cleaner.
he's got so I have 700 life points. So my monster now has 6,300 life points, attack points, and 6,300 defense points because his life points are way above mine. So his monsters are basically screwed. He's screwed because I can attack him with 6,300 points of damage, and it's true. I lose all those attack points because he uses those life points.
Medal face up defense position. Medal LP decreased by 600. Now 6,500.
But it works out for me though.
Medal. M1, number 35. Ravenous Tarantula 5150/5150 rank 10 face up attack Ziz material. 1 M2 Dark Summoning Beast 5150/5150 level 5 face up defense. S1 the 7 spirit gates unleashed face up. S6 Fallen Paradise face up.
But whatever, I can still hit him with 5,000 points of damage. Nothing can do that. Nothing can do that besides me and him. I can destroy all his monsters anyway. And if he summons more, I can destroy him. So now I have the advantage.
S6 Fallen Paradise face up. S1 the 7 M2 Dark Summoning Beast 5150/51 materials. 1 S1 the 7 spirit gates unleashed face up. M2 Dark Summoning Beast 5150/materials. 1 M1 number 30 your table. Opponent's table M1 Copy Ring Trainer 0/0 level 1 face up defense. M2 Copy the Master Order 2300 link rating 4 face up attack. S6 Copy Cage match face up counter. Copy Deathmatch 1 Zone link 5 Copy the Master Order Arm 2 M6 Arm 7.
There's nothing that can happen. He's got nothing. Unless he's able to banish my monster. In which case I'm screwed, but whatever. I was screwed anyway. It's not like this changes the entire duel. You know? Now I could actually win the duel. Let me look at something real quick though.
Number 35. Ravenous Tarantula monster effect. Ziz Dark insect attack 5150 defense 5150 rank 10. 2 level 10 monsters. All monsters you control gain ATK and equal to the difference between your LP and your opponent's. This card has Ziz material. Each time your opponent special summons a monster S, inflict 600 damage to your opponent once per turn. You can detach 1 Ziz material from this card. Destroy all face-up monsters your opponent controls with ATK less than or equal to this card. Attach Ziz materials. 1 Radial Lord of Phantasms. Medal produce on 1 Copy Ring Trainer. Medal summoning LP tag for 1700/0 face-up attack position. Metal summoning LP tag order 1700/0 in face of attack position.
Got you 54. Looks like we kind of gained the Bostonian accent.
Kind of. All I'm telling you is, this guy, I mean, he was destroying me throughout the entire duel. Now he's basically screwed. You know, if I hit him with this monster, he's gonna lose 5,000 life points, which is great for me, because then I can summon another monster with 4,000 attack points, and hit him next turn with 4,000 points of damage, effectively winning the duel.
Your turn. Enter in draw phase. Through one card. 1 to 7 0 phase. Select the card on list to perform an action. H shows your hand. Special summonable. X3, X4. Activatable. H3, H6. M1, M2, S1. Repositionable. M1, M2. Settable. H3, H6. Select the card. Battle menu. A. Attack. M. Name. Select card to attack with M1. Number 35. Grab. Select an attack target. Select 1 to 1 card separated by spaces. 1. Copy attack for on 1. 2. Copy the master order on 2. Enter a line of text. Prepare to attack on 2. Copy the master order with M1 number 35. Grab this tarantula. Metal activated 01 Iron Claw. Metal star 01 Iron Claw was sent to the graveyard. Number 35. Grab this tarantula 5150/5150 attacks. Copy the master order 2800. Metal cell decreased by 2350. Now 3550. Card on 2. Copy the master order destroyed. Battle menu. M. Main phase 2. E. End phase. Select an option. Challenge. Prefer 1. Select the card on which to perform an act. Special summonable. X3, X4. Activatable. H3, H6. M1, M2, S1. Repositionable. M2. Settable. H3, H. Dark summoning beast. R. Reposition this card. B. Summon sacred beast. I. Show card info. Activating M2 dark summoning beast. Nutrition M2 dark summoning beast. Select the monster of the special summon. Select enter line 5. Payment Lord of Titan 4. Uriel Lord of Searing Flames H4. 3. Radial Lord of Phantasms H2. 2. Uriel Lord of Searing Flames H1. Payment Lord of Titan 3. Radial Lord of Phantasms H2. 4. Uriel Lord of Searing Flames H3. Radial Lord of Phantasms H2. The girl logged out. Select place for card 1 of M2. M3. Select position for Radial Lord of Phantasms. 1 face up attack. 2 face up defense. Type. Clear out special summon Radial Lord of Phantasms 4,000/4,000 face up. Special summonable X3, X4. Activatable G11, H2, H5, M1, M2, S1, S6. Settable H2, H5. Select Radial Lord of Phantasms. Radial Lord of Phantasms monster effect. Special summon Dark Fiend. Attack 6800 defense 6800 level 10. Cannot be normal summon / set. Must be special summon from your hand by triggering 3 fiend type monsters and cannot be special summoned by other ways. If your opponent normal summons a monster, special summon 1 phantasm token fiend type / dark / level 1 / ATK 1000 / for each monster summoned. But it cannot declare an attack once per turn. You can tribute 1 monster. This card gains ATK equal to the original ATK of the tributed monster until the end of his turn. Select action for Radial Lord of Phantasms. Select the card on which to special summonable X3, X4. Activatable G11, H2, H5, M1, M2, S1, S6. Settable H2, H5. Fallen Paradise. B. Activate S6 Fallen Paradise. Through 2 cards. 1. Payment Lord of Titan under 2. Chaos 4. Select the card on which to perform an action. H shows your hand.
Oh boy.
Show usable card. E. Land. E. Land. Must block. No button. Yes button. No button. Yugioh sound pack master. Items view multi-select list box. Must
My
blind.
computer's being slow. A little bit. Sorry about that, guys.
MDI client must be initialized. Connected on Saturday, May 20th. An account doesn't exist. Type user. Password. You can type it. Reconnecting. Select the card. Duel continues. Summonable in attack position. H7. Summonable in defense position. H7. Special summonable. X3. X4. Activatable. H2. H5. M1. M2. S1. Settable. H2. H5. Radial Lord of Phantasms. B. Gain attack. I. Show card info. Z. Tag. Select the card on which to perform an action. Radial Lord of Phantasms. B. Gain attack. Radial Lord of Phantasms monster effect. Special summon Dark Fiend. Attack 6800 defense 6800 level 10. Cannot be normal summon / set. Must be special summon from your hand by triggering 3 fiend type monsters and cannot be special summoned by other ways. If your opponent normal summons a monster, special summon 1 phantasm token fiend type / dark / level 1 / ATK 1000 / 1000 for each monster summoned. But it cannot declare an attack once per turn. You can tribute 1 monster. This card gains ATK equal to the original ATK of the tributed. Select the card on which to perform an action. Your save M1 number 35. Grab this tarantula 2800 / 2800 rank 10 face up attack. Materials 1. M2 Radial Lord of Phantasm 6800 / 6800 level 10 face up attack. S1 the 7 0 face up. Reach face up. S6 Fallen Paradise face up. Select the card. Symbol is specified. Reply. Select the card on which to perform an action. H shows your hand. Select the card to discard. Select 1 to 1 card separated by spaces. 1. Uriel Lord of Searing Flames H1. 2. The 7 0 face on H2. 3. Uriel Lord of Searing Flames H3. 4. Payment Lord of Titan under H4. 5. The 7 0 face on H5. 6. Payment Lord of Titan. You discard H2. The 7 0 face on H. Metal turn. Entering draw phase. Opponent through 1 card.
There we go. So next turn, I can hit him with 6800 points of damage. And if he summons a monster, I can summon a defense token. I can summon the defense token, and I can have defense. So that way he can't attack me so well. And if let's say I do lose my Xyz monster, no big deal. It'll be fine for me. You know. And because my monster still has Xyz material, he still takes damage when he summons a monster, so it works out. So I might just win this duel. Very possible. My computer is not very powerful, I'll tell you. You know, not very powerful.
Metal selected option 2. Normal summon without tribute.
Okay. But he's...
Metal summon Scorpio 2300/0 in face of attack position. Activate an M2 radio Lord of Phantasm. Select place for card 1 of M3, M4, M5. Select position for Phantasm. Clear up special summon Phantasm token 1000/1000 in face of defense position.
Now I got some defense.
Opponent's table M1. Galpi attack burner 1700/0 level 5 face up attack. M3. Galpi Scorpio 2300/0 level 5 face up attack. S6. Galpi cage match face up counter. Galpi team 1.
Got you 54. Maybe a gaming computer would be a good birthday present, but that's just wishful thinking.
I know, right? I really want... I would love... That would be awesome.
Your turn. Enter in draw phase. Through 1 card. 1 chaos summon beast. Select the card on list to perform an action. Page shows your hand. Tab and tab 2 shows your opponent's table. Shows usable cards. E enter the battle phase. E end phase. Select the card. Battle menu. Attack M main phase. Select card to attack with M1. Number 35. Ravenous Tarantula 2800/2800. M2 radio Lord of Phantasm 6800/6800. Z tag. Select the card. Select an attack target. Select 1 to 1 card separated by spaces. 1. Galpi attack burner on 1. 2. Galpi Scorpio on 3. Enter a line of text. Clear up prepares to attack on 3. Galpi Scorpio with M2 radio Lord of Phantasms. Metal activating 01 Iron Claw. Metal star 01 Iron Claw was sent to the graveyard. Radio Lord of Phantasm 6800/6800. Attack Galpi Scorpio 2800/0. Metal LP decreased by 4000. Now minus 450. Challenge. Clear up 1 to duel between Clear and Metal.
I won. I came from literally 8,000 life points to 700 in 2 turns. And I still managed to win the duel. Oh, what an awesome victory, dude. Holy crap. Hold on. Holy crap. What a duel. Holy, that was awesome. That almost never happens to me. And the first time I stream Yu-Gi-Oh, this happens. So, thanks for watching the stream. Thanks for watching the stream. I'm gonna stream again at some point soon. We're gonna stream something different. We're gonna stream either Miriani or Cosmic Rage, because I have Cosmic Rage is better because I can do missions. If people want to do missions, I have a freaking awesome ship, 23 pilot ship. So we might do Cosmic Rage because it's more fun to do that. We'll see what happens there. But thanks for watching the stream. I'm gonna upload this to YouTube so that anyone else who wants to learn about the summoning methods and everything else and can have this reference point. But thank you very much for watching the stream to get an idea of how Yu-Gi-Oh works and what you can do as a blind person to play Yu-Gi-Oh. I wasn't even expecting to win this duel, but it worked out. So thanks to my XE's monsters, it actually was awesome. So thanks again. I will stream again soon, and good luck, and stay safe, and do what you can in this time of quarantine. So thanks. There you go.
Goodbye. Disconnected on Saturday, May 20th. No button.
Let me end that real quick here.
Yugioh Soundtrack Master. Malware by Spray application. TCTS Google Chrome. Ops 25.0. Start recording checkbox not checked.